Welcome to the Thenaturalmedic Adventures. This is Craig. I am coming to you live today from Lake Caroline on the Red River National Wildlife Refuge in the outskirts of Bossier City, Louisiana, close to Shreveport. And doing a little kayaking today, if you couldn't tell. And yeah, beautiful little oxbow lake out here. Lots of birds. Seen some fish jumping, but I haven't really seen too much other activity. So please join me for this adventure out here on the lake today. If you're looking way over there, like way over there, that is where the boat launch is. That's where we put our boats in. And back in 1945, this little oxbow was part of the Red River Channel. Red River changed direction during that time, leaving this little lake behind. Those big gigantic trees you're seeing, I guess they're not too gigantic, are bald cypress trees. I believe the state tree of Louisiana. And there's several of them out here in the lake. Just doing a little nice paddling out here. Now if you look where my feet are, my kayak actually has pegs. I'm embarrassed to say I've had it for since like 2015. Bought it my first year of becoming a paramedic. It was a celebration gift to myself. Just launched it for the first time last weekend out in Palestine at Wolf Creek Lake. Now I'm over here in Louisiana at Lake Caroline. Lots more cypress trees in front of us. This particular model is an angling kayak. And if you're wanting to get into kayaking because you like to fish, there are several out there that have fishing attachments, so you can put your rod and your other gear pretty easily. The water is pretty calm. There's a nice breeze. This particular boat tracks really well, so I don't have to spend a lot of effort paddling it. My paddle is a Carlisle angler paddle. It does have a little hook in the end of it over here. Not necessarily something you have to have, but if you're going to be angling, it does have a nice little reach there to get that one piece out. So why would you want to go kayaking? The whole aspect of kayaking is so you can reach some cool places just under your own power. No motor, just using your paddle. As I said, the wilderness systems, Pungo, I believe it's a Pungo 120, which I think the 120 stands for 12 foot long. Primarily a recreational boat. For angling, it does have angling attachments. I have not used that yet, but it's pretty lightweight. It has a hatch on the back, which I'll try to show you when I get out at the end of this little trip and go up on the shore. What other features does it have? It's nice. Let's see. It's got some straps you can see right up here for strapping on equipment. Maybe a small ice chest or cooler. Put your jacket up there. Pretty good sized lake though. I'm not sure how big it is exactly. According to the sign, it has 80 different species of fish. So if I was going to be fishing out here, I bet I could catch a lot of variety of different fish. I'd probably say, what the heck is this? I don't even know what it is. There's been lots of bird activity today. You can see some egrets. I believe those are snowy egrets. Or it was maybe a great blue heron, actually is what I think it was. Back in the cove, I tried to get a picture of it, but as soon as I got where I could put my paddle down and cruise up where I could see it, it went away. It realized I was there, so no big deal. The water is pretty calm. This boat is not made for any sort of rambunctious activity on whitewater. Probably some maybe class 1, class 2 it probably could handle. Just some very small rapids, fast moving, a little bit fast moving water compared to this flat water that we're on today. But other than that, it's probably not ready for anything like when you think of a kayak. But kayaks are really very popular, and you can get them just about anywhere. Walmart's got them, Tractor Supply, Dick's Sporting Goods, REI, of course, and just all kinds of places. I'll put some recommendations down in the description for you if you want to check those out for the future and get yourself a kayak. Getting closer back to the boat dock area. People up there look at some kind of net trying to catch something. There's a guy over here in a kayak. Looks like a kayak fishing. The lake continues to go on this way. Not going to get to explore everything this time, but maybe another time. Something that definitely helps though is some water shoes like this, where you're going to get out. It definitely helps make things easier on your feet and give you some traction and protection. This is called the Sweet Roll from Yakima. Makes it real easy though. I'll show you when I load it up how easy it is to load. If you have a rack on top of your vehicle, you don't necessarily need anything this expensive or this fancy. But here's the kayak. This is the Wilderness Systems Pungo 120. It's a 12-foot kayak set up for angling. It's got a hatch on the back. Did get a little bit of water in there. I'm gonna dump that out before I go down the road. A wide-brimmed hat is definitely nice. PFD of some sort is good to have to wear at all times, but at least you need to have it in the boat. I would encourage you to wear it, but if you're not going to wear it, just at least have it in the boat just in case you need it. So this one's got a nice cushy seat. Some of the other ones have a hard plastic seat, but in essence, that's basically all you need to have a good kayaking trip. And once again, let's take a look out here at Lake Caroline. Beautiful day in September. It's actually 9/11 today when I'm filming this. Here is a close-up of the lake. Now, if you're in the majority of the United States, you're probably going to have small bodies of water like this, which are perfect for kayaking. As you can see, this is an oxbow of the old Red River here. The nice thing about having this Sweet Roll set up, though, is you can just load this, and with one hand, as I'm filming, it's just a little bit difficult, you can push that sucker right on there. And once it gets to the point that you want it, where it's sitting flat, strap it down. A couple more things. Now that I'm home, let's talk about care of your kayak. Now, depending on what kind of environment you're going in, I'm assuming most of us that are watching this are going to be in freshwater, but if you're in saltwater, you definitely need to clean off your boat, and I'll do that in just a second. All you need to do is rinse it with some good fresh water, straight out of the faucet. Now, before we get into that, let's talk about things that we should be doing. By the way, all this probably can be found in your owner's manual, so definitely want to at least skim through it at the very least. I talked about wearing a PFD, a life vest, a personal flotation device that is Coast Guard approved. Definitely want to have that. You want to wear a helmet when you're in the ocean or you're doing whitewater, because there are hazards that could strike you in the head. Never know. And it's probably a good idea, especially if you've never been on the water before, to get some type of paddle sport instruction, just to make it official and to help you be a safer boater, kayaker, whatever. A lot of those are available all over the place and for a pretty inexpensive price. Definitely check your equipment all the time, which is what I just talked about, giving it clean after you use it. Be familiar with where you're going. That's one thing to think about. What types of hazards will you encounter? What types of weather will you encounter? And be prepared for that. Definitely follow your recommendation for using and outfitting your kayak. Whatever manufacturer makes your kayak, make sure to read the manual for special instructions on that. Just like you would go out if you're hiking, let somebody know where you are going and when you expect to be back, and how to or when to contact the authorities. And also, I would think it's a good idea to get some kind of first aid training and carry first aid equipment. So things you want to carry with you, first of all, you want a dry bag to put all your stuff in. And it's called a dry bag because, hey, guess what? It keeps your stuff dry. 10 essentials items such as first aid kit, water filtration, a GPS satellite locator device can be handy. Not required, but definitely handy. All the places that you get out there on open water, you might not necessarily have a cell phone signal to summon help and call 911. So it's good to have that just in case. I just obtained this bag for my phone. Most phones nowadays are waterproof, but they don't float very well, tend to sink. So you can put it inside of that bag, and it won't get down into the bottom of the lake or the river or whatever you're paddling in, and you won't lose your phone and owe your cell carrier a bunch of money for a device you just lost. Definitely don't go out exceeding your limitations. This boat, in particular of mine, is not made for whitewater, but it can handle some light whitewater. But anything beyond that, I would be exceeding my equipment and myself's limitations, and I don't want to do that. Definitely want to make sure you have the 10 essentials if you don't know what those are, and of course there's other accessories that are available, probably from your kayaking outfitter or manufacturer, that you can add to utilize your boat better or more effectively. So let's go ahead and wash this bad boy off. Dump all that stuff out and make sure that your boat is nice and clean. Generally, you don't want to drag your boat from place to place. You want to try to take care of it. If you drag the boat, it could weaken the hull and could eventually lead to a compromised boat that could sink, or just in general not last as long as you want it to. Anyway, I hope that helps you understand a little bit about Kayaking 101. If you're enjoying this, if you enjoyed my content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and I will see you on the trail, or hey, out there on the water. Bye!